who would prefer to silently acknowledge your joys and sorrows remaining in your hearts, I come to the altar and release a stone into the vase in silence while Tristan plays the Spirit of Life. And after he plays it through one time, you're invited to join in this singing of this meditation of song, and the words are printed in your order of service. We hold all these things within the heart of this community, both spoken and unspoken. And by remaining silent for a moment, let us consider what has been shared and how we might respond. And let us close together with Amen and blessed be.
Amen. Blessed be.
There's a lot going on. Let us hear from our RE folks. What are you planning to do today?
An almost summer fun, collaborative play day. So we will enjoy the beautiful weather and continue the lovely creations outside. So,
Sounds wonderful. Thank you for doing that. Now let us sing our beloved children back to class with the Children's Blessing, located on the back cover of your gray hymnal. Now I have the unique and wonderful privilege and honor to welcome a wonderful chaplain friend, Kevin Pierce. Kevin is a spiritual caregiver and former hospital chaplain and is currently taking a break after recently serving 2 years in a non-trauma hospital setting. We both worked at Rex, and that's how I know him. Before entering the world of spiritual care, Kevin spent over a decade in the IT field, and after earning his degree in computer science from NC State University, in addition to chaplaincy, Kevin has volunteered as a resettlement partner with World Relief for 6 years, helping refugee families find a footing in a new land. He also spent 2 years offering volunteer companion care with Transitions Life Care, walking alongside individuals in their final seasons of life. Adopted as an infant by a family in eastern North Carolina, Kevin grew up with 2 loving parents and an adopted sister. His journey as an adoptee has shaped his understanding of identity, belonging, and the many ways love and family take form. With both his mother and sister now deceased, Kevin continues to reflect on their influence in his life, particularly in how he approaches fatherhood and care for others. Kevin is grateful for the opportunity to share a Father's Day reflection, drawn from both his experience as an adoptee and as a parent. He brings a gentle, thoughtful voice rooted in the Christian faith tradition and shaped by his life experiences. Welcome you, Kevin.
Thank you. So as I get set up, because I need lots of props, because dads need lots of props, but my wife reminded me this morning that dads also need always to have a good pun in their pocket. And I actually have a pun in my pocket. Okay, so we're gonna start out with a pun this morning. And this is actually one of my favorites. My wife told me to stop acting like a flamingo, so I had to put my foot down. Yeah. It gets better, I promise. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So again, good morning, everyone. I am again still laying stuff out. I am very blessed to have this opportunity to come and to share some reflection with you this morning. And again, thanks, Linda. This has been a wonderful exercise for me, as you'll see once I get into it. Again, my name is Kevin, and I'm here because my friend Linda Seligman invited me to share a message this Father's Day related to my own story. Thank you again, Linda, for the opportunity. When I was growing up, Father's Day was the day Daddy grilled hamburgers and steaks for dinner. It was the day he got a new pair of dark blue, black, or tan dress socks. The whole day was fun, festive, and lighthearted, and always experienced together as a family. Fast forward to today, not much has changed. Except now we take him to dinner at Outback Steakhouse. These days, he considers time spent together a far greater gift than another pair of blue polyester socks. And I've got the blue socks. They're not polyester, I don't think. I think it's a mix, honestly. As the years have passed and I've become a father myself, I've come to see the day through which I've come to see the day through more than just one lens. Father's Day still means food and receiving a few gifts, but it also brings to mind the many relationships that have shaped my experience as a father. I'm honored to be the dad of 2 adult daughters who are recent college graduates. It's exciting to see them stepping into the next phase of adulting. But Father's Day also stirs up memories of people and events that are central to my life, my fatherhood, and the man I've become. Without these people, the meaning of the day would be very different. For many people, their dad is their biological father. He might have your same eye color or hairline. For others, dad isn't linked by blood, but by a conscious decision like adoption. That's where my story begins. I was adopted into the home of Larry and Nell Pierce when I was 6 weeks old. And just to be clear, when I refer to mom or dad throughout this story, I'm talking about them, not using the term adoptive every time, because that's not what I called them growing up. He was the man I saw from morning to evening and in the middle of the night when I was sick. He went to work and taught me the importance of earning a living, whether it was selling insurance or running a small community grocery store down the street. At home, he modeled hard work through gardening vegetables, cutting down trees for firewood, and feeding his small herd of livestock. With quiet kindness, he showed me how to care for my maternal grandmother who lived next door to us, loving her just as he did his own mother. He delighted in taking us on vacations to the beach and to the mountains in their travel trailer. And he passed down his faith tradition by bringing me to church to learn about God. My earliest memories include them telling me my adoption story. It goes like this. One day, my mother came home, the home I grew up in, from shopping with her mother. They picked up a bucket of KFC on the way. As they arrived, the phone rang and my mom ran inside to answer it. It was the adoption agency. She and my dad had been waiting to hear from them. They told her about a 6-week-old boy who was available for adoption. She and my grandmother were so excited by the news that they rushed inside, leaving the bucket of chicken on the roof of the car. Not long after that, of course, a cat found the chicken and helped himself to it. My mom quickly contacted a friend who was a police officer. By chance, he spotted my dad on the road and pulled him over. At first, my dad thought he was getting a ticket, until the officer surprised him with the news. He told my dad to get home right away. That following Monday, my parents went to see me and decided to adopt me. I have never known how much of this story is true and how much was embellished. But as a kid, I never thought to ask. What mattered was that it was filled with adventure and tenderness, danger and delight, love and acceptance. My parents' bond with me became especially important when I struggled emotionally. Looking back, I don't know if those struggles were directly related to being adopted. But since then, I've come to understand how critical bonding and emotional regulation are in an adoptee's story. I still remember the joy I felt when my parents adopted my sister. We were close friends and occasional enemies, just like biological siblings. But I felt a special bond with her because she too was adopted. Though I often wrestled with loneliness and the fear of being alone, my parents worked together the best they could to create a loving, connected family. I never felt that being adopted made me any less of a son. About 5 years after college and getting married, before my wife and I had kids, someone entered my life unexpectedly. I didn't realize it at the time, but that encounter would deepen and mature my understanding of adoption, its beauty, its purpose, and its power to transform lives. That person is my birth mother, Becky. She reached out, believing the timing was right. She said she had waited, hoping that by now I'd graduated from college and was married, which, as it turns out, I was. She explained that with the support of her parents, she had made the difficult and loving decision before I was born to give me space for an uninterrupted bond with my adopted parents. She told me that she had 2 simple wishes: to know how I was doing, both physically and emotionally, and to meet me face to face one day. She didn't know if these wishes were going to come true. As much as I wanted to explore this new part of my story, I was afraid how my adoptive parents might feel. It wasn't a relationship meant to replace the one I had with them, but to honor my biological connection with my birth mother and to learn more about who she was. With tears, I finally told my adoptive parents. They cried too, overwhelmed, I think, by the weight of the moment. But they received my decision with grace. In time, I knew I was ready. I agreed to meet my birth mother at a nearby park, and I still remember that day vividly. I parked the car and waited in it at Lake Crabtree. We'd chosen that spot because in our phone conversations, we both realized that we enjoyed being outside and going to parks. She pulled up in the car, and then I just finally thought, I wonder what she looks like. I hadn't seen any pictures beforehand. I had decided I wanted our meeting to be like the day I was born, the first time I laid my eyes on my mother. The moment I saw her, my mind flashed to my adoptive mom. And almost immediately, I began comparing them, not to find fault, but because it just happened. The more I studied her face, the more I saw parts of my own in hers. It was a strange feeling. It didn't make me love her more or love my adoptive mom less. Somehow my heart made room to love and appreciate her for exactly who she is. Though Becky is my biological mother, she feels more like a close friend. And at the same time, she's also a grandmother to my children, though never in a way that competes or replaces the relationship my children had with my adoptive mom. Becky celebrates birthdays with us occasionally and has stood by me during the loss of both my adopted mother and my sister. She's always welcomed honest conversations about her decision to place me up for adoption. Through it all, she has shown the strength it takes to be a birth parent and the unique wisdom a birth parent can offer later in a child's life. The love I received from both my adoptive mother, my adoptive parents, and my birth mother helped me form a foundation of care, sacrifice, and commitment. But I would not be the man or the father I am today without another unexpected gift. The friendship I formed in college with a male mentor and his family. In many ways, he became a spiritual guide to me, a father figure who walked alongside me during those critical young adult years. It's one thing to learn how to parent from the people who raised you. It's another thing entirely to witness up close a different man fathering his children, someone outside your family whose actions you study through more grown-up eyes. I noticed ways he mirrored my dad's strength, but I also began to see new dimensions of fatherhood, and those lessons helped shape the kind of father I wanted to become. He showed me how to love others, not just with words, but through actions, through good choices, and just as importantly, through his mistakes. He wasn't afraid to be serious, but he also laughed very freely. He modeled honesty and vulnerability in front of his wife and children. When he made a mistake, he didn't hide from it. He owned it. He sought forgiveness and chose conversation over control. He took time with each of his kids, celebrating their birthdays with one-on-one trips to theme parks. Sometimes I got to tag along, and somehow those moments pulled me closer to him and to his children. Through it all, I saw how his faith gave him a sense of purpose, a vision, a hope, and a deep well of compassion. He wasn't perfect, and he knew it, but perfection was never the goal. What mattered to him was connection, living out the love he had received from God and passing it on to others. He trusted that God's love as a father would carry him through both joy and hardship. Even now, 10 years after his death, I still remember his deep commitment to walking with his children, even as adults, through whatever life brought their way. On a day-to-day basis, my greatest support in fathering has been my wife of over 30 years. She is my partner. We lift each other up and advocate for one another. And thanks to her commitment to working full-time during those early years, I had the incredible privilege of staying home with our kids during their childhood years. Early in our marriage, she shared with me how, as a girl, she had read a book called The Family That Nobody Wanted. That story planted a seed in her, a longing to adopt. Adoption became a regular part of our conversation as we dreamed about becoming parents. Eventually, we felt drawn to adopt from China. It felt like a beautiful expression of both who we are and what we value. Me as an adoptee, and her as a Chinese American. We were excited to celebrate and share Chinese heritage with our kids. In May of 2002, after months of paperwork, waiting, and anticipation, we traveled to China to welcome our first child into our family. We affectionately call that day her Gotcha Day. And then in July of 2004, we returned to China to welcome our second daughter home. Actually, we ended up traveling separately for our second child. I stayed home with our 2-year-old while my sister-in-law was traveling to come and to take care of her. That meant I flew to China alone, just me, with my elementary level of Mandarin skills and a heart full of anticipation. I remember stepping off the plane in the Jiangxi province and feeling completely overwhelmed. I looked around and saw only Asian faces, everyone speaking quickly and moving very fast. I thought to myself, what am I going to do if my ride doesn't show up? Thankfully, he did. He took me to the hotel where my wife and our youngest daughter were waiting. I will never forget what I felt when I opened the hotel door, and I saw our daughter sitting on the bed. It was a deep and unexpected sense that our family was now complete. Not because our family of 3 was lacking or unhealthy, but because in that moment, something clicked into place. I felt an inward spiritual connection with her. It was as if my heart said, yes, this is us. Both girls were warmly welcomed into our extended family, including my adoptive and birth families, as well as my wife's family. During that time, I fathered them using the skills and wisdom I'd gained from my adoptive dad, my spiritual father, my birth mother, and my father-in-law. Living close to us, my father-in-law played a special role in teaching Chinese culture to our daughters. He taught them Mandarin during walks by the lake, while preparing meals, and through singing nursery rhymes. Technically, it wasn't him, it was my mother-in-law as well. He and she shared cultural traditions passed down through their families, including how to write Chinese characters. Along with other family members, he also helped them with schoolwork like math. Both sides of the family embraced the girls fully, loving and caring for them without hesitation or distinction as adopted children. Finally, I'm the dad I am today because of my kids. I came into fatherhood with some ideas and a few skills, but quickly realized, as I'm sure many of us do who are fathers, that some things don't always go as planned. I remember sitting on the floor with my firstborn trying to teach her how to color. I expected her to watch and then copy me right away. But she didn't. She studied me again and again in silence, far longer than I imagined. I started to wonder, am I doing something wrong? And then one day she picked up a crayon, gripped it nearly perfectly, and began coloring, mostly within the lines. Now, I don't bring that up to highlight a moment of precision. It was about patience. I saw how she made sense of the world by watching it first and then acting in her own time. And I began to shift from teaching with expectations to teaching with trust. I had assumed that being an adoptee myself would help me understand my youngest daughter's experience. But I realized that her journey brought challenges that I had never faced, especially as someone adopted internationally. She didn't just navigate life as a racial minority in school. She also endured painful betrayals and social manipulation from peers that were far beyond my own experience. Still, she fought through it. And what strength she has shown and continues to show. I am deeply grateful she's let me walk beside her through parts of that journey. Her resilience has opened my eyes to realities I hadn't understood. Ones that humble me. Through her love and quiet perseverance, I've come to see the world and fatherhood with greater clarity and compassion. In the end, fatherhood isn't something I've inherited from one biological male. It's something I've witnessed in my adoptive dad, grew into through a college mentor, was encouraged in by my birth mother and wife, and continue to be shaped through my daughters. I've never mastered it and never pretend to imagine that I will. I didn't read it in a book. It was forged in real relationships, in both quiet faithfulness and painful growth. Father's Day for me isn't just about steaks and socks. It's a moment to honor the people adopted, biological and chosen, who showed me how to love, how to stumble and get back up, how to be present. Through them, I've become more than a father. I've become the man I was meant to be. And for that, I give thanks. Happy Father's Day to all the dads and all who have served as dads and continue to. Thank you.
Now you can see why I invited him. Thank you for your wonderful, beautiful, and deep message of love that you shared with us today. That was lovely. And now, at this time of the day, and on Sundays, we take up a monetary offering to support our social justice work in our local Orange County communities. And this month, our plate offering goes to Orange County Justice United. Please donate by placing cash or checks in the offering basket. If by check, please write plate to the memo line, or you can go to our website and give through that vehicle. And thank you for your generosity.
For all those times you stood by me, for all the truth that you made me see, for all the joy you brought to my life, for all the wrongs that you made right, for every dream you made come true, for all the love I found in you. I'll be forever thankful, baby. You're the one who held me up, never let me fall. You're the one that saw me through it all. You were my strength when I was weak. You were my voice when I couldn't speak. You were my eyes when I couldn't see. You saw the best there sky. I lost my faith, you gave it back to me. You said no star was out of reach. You stood by me and I stood tall. I had your love, I had it all. I'm grateful for each day you gave me. Maybe I don't know that much, but I know this much is true. I was blessed because I was loved by you. You were my voice when I couldn't speak. You were my eyes when I couldn't see. You saw the best there was in me. Lifted me up when I couldn't reach. You gave me faith 'cause you believed. I'm everything I am because you loved me. You were always there for me, the tender wind that carried me, the light in my dark, shining your love into my life. You've been my inspiration through the lies. You were the truth. My world is a better place because of you. You were my strength. You were my eyes when I couldn't see. You saw the best there was in me. Lifted me up when I couldn't reach. You gave me faith 'cause you believed. I'm everything I am because you loved me. I'm everything I am because you loved me.
And thank you, Tristan, for your music.
And Heather.
And Heather, yes, both of them. Thank you. So please join me in our prayer of collective gratitude found in your order of service. For the love that surrounds us every morning, for the friends beside us, and for the generous gifts just received, let us be truly grateful. Please rise in body or spirit as we sing our closing hymn, Love Will Guide Us, number 131 in your gray hymnal.
Love will guide us, peace has guided us, hope inside us, leading the way on the road from reaching me. Love will guide
today's closing words, a Father's Day prayer by Carol Almond Morton. On Father's Day, we honor those people who have been teachers, confidants, and friends. We acknowledge that it is not biology that makes a parent, but love and attention. For those of us who have lost a father, a child, we hold their memories in our hearts. For all of us who are fathers, we ask for continued help in discerning how best to care for our children, whether they are 5 or 50 years old. May the strands of relationship between ourselves and all of creation grow us stronger. May all of us, no matter what our place in the cycle of life, experience nurture and love. And may we pass on that love to those we encounter on our own paths. So may it be. Amen.
So now please join me as we extinguish our sacred UU flame. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Go in peace, my friends. Blessed be. Have a wonderful day.
Did you forgive me? Adopted